Have you heard stories about seniors who seemed perfectly healthy until suddenly they weren't? This is precisely what happened to Eleanor Wilson, a grandmother from Pennsylvania. She embodied vitality, independent, physically fit, mentally sharp. Just yesterday she was taking her regular stroll through her neighborhood with her terrier, and by this morning she was gone. No warning signs, no preceding symptoms. One moment everything seemed fine. The next moment, tragedy struck. The most heartbreaking aspect? It could have been prevented. This difficult truth is that Eleanor's story isn't uncommon. It repeats itself daily among older adults across the nation. Women and men who dedicated their lives to caring for others only to become victims of seemingly harmless daily habits that gradually undermine their health without their awareness. These habits appear inconsequential, routines you've likely maintained throughout your life. But as we age, they become increasingly hazardous. Here's the uncomfortable reality that often goes unmentioned. Your body at 70 functions differently than it did at 40. What once posed no significant risk can now seriously endanger your heart, brain, and independence. Perhaps you're thinking, I feel perfectly fine. I've always done things this way, so why change now? That's exactly what Eleanor thought too. But aging is deceptive. It's not the obvious threats that cause problems, but the subtle ones we disregard. By the time you notice something's wrong, intervention might come too late. That's why I urge you to continue reading as I share 6 silent mistakes many seniors make daily. Errors that quietly increase risks of falls, strokes, cardiac events, and cognitive decline. These mistakes steal precious years from your life without warning. Most concerning of all, many people remain unaware they're making these errors. The encouraging news? Once identified, every one of these mistakes becomes completely avoidable. You can take immediate action with simple adjustments that safeguard your health, preserve your independence, and protect the time remaining with those you cherish. So please keep reading because the final mistake in this list rarely receives attention despite being among the most lethal. Trust me, by the conclusion of this article, you'll view your daily habits through an entirely new lens. Your later years should be your finest, filled with vitality and meaningful memories. Let's ensure what happened to Eleanor never happens to you. First mistake, exerting yourself before breakfast. Consider what you typically do upon awakening. Do you immediately get out of bed, grab your gardening tools, or rush outside for your morning exercise? Perhaps you head directly to handle laundry or begin household chores before the sun has fully risen. If this describes your routine, you're certainly not alone. Many of us were raised believing early productivity signifies a successful day and fulfilling life. However, here's what few discuss. Engaging in physical activity immediately after waking, particularly without eating first, becomes increasingly dangerous as we age. Overnight, your body experiences a fasting period lasting 8 to 12 hours. Your blood glucose, your body's essential fuel, naturally reaches its lowest levels. During sleep, your heart rate decreases, blood pressure drops, and your body enters deep restoration. But everything transforms the moment you awaken. Your body experiences an adrenaline surge, nature's mechanism to activate you. But for seniors, this natural morning spike already taxes your heart significantly. When you add chores, heavy lifting, or even brisk walking without providing your body nourishment, you might unknowingly create dangerous conditions. This can lead to hazardous blood pressure elevations, increased cardiac strain, and worst of all, the risk of dislodging arterial plaque that has accumulated over years. If this occurs, that plaque can travel to your brain or heart, causing an immediate stroke or cardiac event. This sequence explains how many sudden health emergencies develop, not through random chance or misfortune, but through these seemingly inconsequential moments catching us unprepared. You might wonder, I've always followed this routine, why change now? Because what worked at 40 doesn't work at 70. Our bodies transform, our blood vessels lose flexibility, our hearts don't recover as rapidly, and our energy reserves deplete more quickly. What once seemed like a simple morning task could now push your body beyond its limits. So what's the solution? How can you protect yourself while maintaining your active lifestyle? The answer begins with one straightforward change. Nourish your body before movement. Before grabbing garden tools or tying your walking shoes, take a moment to fuel your system. You don't need an elaborate breakfast, just a light, healthy snack to elevate your blood sugar and support your heart and muscles. Consider a banana rich in potassium and natural sugars to gently energize your system. A handful of almonds or walnuts provides heart-healthy fats and protein. A slice of whole grain bread offers sustained energy without sugar crashes. Even drinking water first thing makes a significant difference, rehydrating your body and promoting smoother blood circulation. Then, instead of immediately tackling demanding chores, ease into your morning. Think of it like warming up a vehicle. On a cold day, try gentle stretching, take a leisurely walk around your property, or practice some morning Tai Chi. These gentle movements signal your body to awaken gradually but safely. Remember, your mornings establish the pattern for your entire day. Treat them, and your body, with appropriate care and respect. Eleanor Wilson never knew this. She awakened, feeling fine that morning but skipped breakfast, went directly into her garden to tend her flowers, and suffered a massive stroke before anyone could help. Don't let that become your story. It requires just a few additional minutes to protect yourself, to give your body what it needs to remain active, independent, and healthy for years ahead. If this resonates with you, please affirm in the comments below. Simply type yes if you pledge to begin your mornings with greater care. Your body will thank you, as will those who love you. Second mistake: rising from bed too quickly. How many mornings have you awakened, glanced at your clock, and immediately felt compelled to hurry out of bed and start your day? This habit is extremely common, especially among lifelong hard workers and early risers. Your house needs attention, coffee beckons, perhaps your pet awaits their morning walk. So without thinking, you swing your legs over the edge, stand quickly, and push forward. But here's what few people tell you. As we age, this simple morning habit could seriously jeopardize your health and independence. During sleep, your body enters deep rest and restoration. Your heart rate slows, blood pressure decreases, and circulation, especially to your brain, reduces. This represents normal physiology, your body's method of healing and resetting for the coming day. But upon awakening, your body requires time to adjust. If you sit or stand too rapidly, your blood pressure cannot adapt quickly enough. What follows is what physicians call orthostatic hypotension, a sudden sharp blood pressure drop that manifests as dizziness, blurred vision, or lightheadedness. You might experience that frightening moment when the room seems to spin, requiring you to grasp something for stability. Perhaps this has happened occasionally and you dismissed it. But here's the danger. One misstep, one failed grasp, could result in a serious fall. Falls represent one of the primary reasons seniors lose independence. A fractured hip or head injury aren't merely medical problems. They can fundamentally alter your life course. Adding to the concern, your body remains stiff in the morning after hours of immobility. Your joints, muscles, and spine need additional time to awaken. Sudden movements don't just shock your cardiovascular system, they can strain your back, pull muscles, or even cause spinal injuries. The solution is simple: allow your body to awaken properly. Try this approach tomorrow morning and every morning thereafter. First, upon awakening, remain lying down for a minute or two. Take several deep breaths and feel your body gradually activating. Next, stretch gently while still in bed. Wiggle your fingers and toes, rotate your ankles, move your arms to gradually increase circulation. Then roll onto your side and push yourself up to a seated position. Let your feet rest flat on the floor and sit breathing for 30 to 60 seconds. Finally, when feeling steady, slowly stand up using sturdy support like your nightstand or bed frame if needed. These extra moments might seem insignificant but could differentiate between starting your day strong versus ending up in emergency care with fall injuries. Consider this analogy. You wouldn't start an older vehicle and immediately accelerate. You'd allow it to warm up first. Your body deserves equivalent consideration, especially now. Imagine how much safer and steadier you'd feel if every morning began this way. Calm, controlled, with your body fully prepared for the day ahead. This isn't about slowing down your life but protecting the life you've worked diligently to build, maintaining independence, strength, and enjoying every sunrise you're fortunate to witness. Eleanor Wilson didn't understand this hazard. She awakened that morning, leapt out of bed as she'd done countless times before, but this time her body wasn't ready. She lost balance, fell hard, and never recovered. Don't let that become your story. You're wiser now, you know better, and tomorrow you'll do better. Let's protect what matters most, beginning first thing tomorrow. Third mistake: straining. During bathroom visits. This next point might surprise you because it involves something we all do every morning without second thought. Yet the simple act of using the bathroom can become remarkably dangerous as we age, particularly if straining occurs. Overnight, your body works diligently processing everything consumed the previous day, eliminating waste, and preparing for the new day. Naturally, that morning urge arrives and many rush straight to the bathroom. But here's what most people don't realize. Straining excessively, especially first thing in the morning, can trigger a dangerous physiological chain reaction. Every time you push or bear down, your chest pressure increases dramatically. This strain forces your heart to work harder and temporarily reduces blood flow returning to your heart and brain. For younger individuals, this might seem inconsequential, but for older adults, especially those with hypertension, cardiac issues, or circulatory problems, this moment of strain can become life-threatening. Medical professionals even have terminology for this phenomenon, the Valsalva maneuver, where straining causes blood pressure to fluctuate wildly. It initially surges, then drops suddenly, potentially causing lightheadedness, dizziness, or even fainting right there in the bathroom. More alarmingly, in severe cases, excessive straining can trigger cardiac events or strokes, particularly during early morning hours when blood vessels remain stiff and your heart is still warming up for the day. This might sound extreme, but it happens more frequently than you might imagine. And the saddest aspect is that most people, like our friend Eleanor Wilson, never anticipate it. Eleanor awakened that morning feeling fine until she hurried to the bathroom. She had been experiencing mild constipation, as many do, but instead of proceeding slowly, breathing properly, and allowing her body sufficient time, she forced the issue. That strain placed sudden pressure on her heart, and she collapsed before anyone could intervene. This situation is real but preventable. How can you protect yourself from transforming a routine bathroom visit into a medical emergency? Start by changing your approach to mornings and treating your body with deserved consideration. First, slow down. There's no award for speed in the bathroom. Take your time, breathe deeply, and never force anything. Second, maintain hydration, especially during morning hours. Begin your day with a full glass of water to soften stools and naturally stimulate digestion. Third, increase fiber intake. Simple adjustments like having oatmeal for breakfast, consuming berries, leafy greens, or whole grains can substantially improve digestive health. Aim for adequate daily fiber intake, and your body will certainly appreciate it. Fourth, avoid using mobile devices or reading materials. While this has become habitual for many, sitting too long increases pressure on veins, raising hemorrhoid risks and worsening circulatory issues. Keep bathroom visits straightforward. Accomplish what's necessary, then get up and move. Lastly, if constipation becomes recurring, don't ignore it. Consult your physician. Safe options exist, from fiber supplements to gentle stool softeners designed specifically for seniors. The truth remains. Something as basic as a safe, comfortable bathroom routine can protect your cardiovascular system, brain function, and independence. You've worked too hard and come too far to let something like this compromise your health. Tomorrow morning, proceed carefully, listen to your body's signals, and never strain unnecessarily. Your health deserves this consideration every single time. Fourth mistake: social withdrawal. Let me ask something personal. When did you last genuinely connect with someone, share laughter, stories, or simply sit together discussing life? If it's been some time, you're not alone. As we age, our social circles naturally contract, not by choice, but because circumstances change. Retirement slows our pace, Friends relocate, loved ones pass away, and gradually days become quieter, sometimes too quiet. Initially, solitude might feel peaceful, respite from the bustle of raising children or building careers. But what begins as enjoying tranquility can gradually transform into isolation, and therein lies genuine danger. Loneliness represents a silent threat, and I don't say this casually. Research consistently demonstrates that social isolation increases risks of depression, anxiety, dementia, heart disease, and even premature mortality. Some health experts suggest being socially isolated presents risks comparable to smoking regularly, each day. This occurs because humans are inherently social creatures. Our brains and hearts thrive through meaningful relationships. When these connections diminish, emotional health suffers initially, but consequences extend further. Over time, loneliness affects physical well-being too, weakening immunity, elevating blood pressure, and accelerating cognitive decline. It's heartbreaking how many good, kind, intelligent individuals like Eleanor Wilson gradually fade into obscurity, simply because they stop reaching out and nobody notices until too late. Eleanor's story wasn't solely about physical health. During months preceding her passing, her son reported she had begun declining invitations, missing community gatherings, and rarely answering her telephone. "I just don't feel like socializing," she would explain. That statement represents perhaps the most dangerous response of all, because reduced engagement diminishes desire for engagement, and gradually the world begins feeling smaller, darker, and lonelier. But this pattern isn't inevitable. Life continues offering possibilities, and many people still need your presence. Here's how to protect yourself starting today. First, reconnect. Call an old friend, someone you haven't spoken with in months or years. You'll likely be pleasantly surprised by how hearing their voice affects you. Second, schedule regular family interactions, whether weekly calls, video chats, or Sunday meals. Make connection priority, and if family lives distantly, embrace technology. Video conferencing, messaging, or other communication keeps you involved in their world. Third, participate in community activities. Senior centers, libraries, and religious organizations offer numerous activities specifically designed for you. Join reading groups, art classes, or volunteer at local charities. Not only will you maintain social connections, but you'll feel valued and needed. Fourth, don't hesitate trying new experiences. Whether learning musical instruments, joining walking clubs, or attending classes, new activities create new relationships. Initial awkwardness is natural. That's how every meaningful friendship begins. Remember, maintaining social connections isn't merely about staying occupied. It's about keeping your heart receptive, mind alert, and spirit fulfilled. The fundamental truth remains: humans aren't designed for isolation. We function better, stronger, and healthier through connection. If you've been withdrawing lately, if days begin blending together indistinguishably, promise yourself you'll take one small step toward connection today. You remain needed, loved, and significant. Fifth mistake: avoiding regular medical checkups. How often have you thought, "I feel fine, so why bother seeing a doctor?" This excuse comes easily, especially when feeling healthy and active. But let me tell you, friend, feeling fine represents one of the most dangerous justifications possible. Here's why. Many serious conditions, including hypertension, diabetes, and even early-stage cancers, often present no obvious symptoms, at least not until reaching advanced stages. By the time you notice something amiss, damage might already be extensive. Revisiting Eleanor Wilson's story reveals this pattern. She didn't feel unwell. She awakened daily, enjoyed her coffee, took her regular walks. But when her son accompanied her for a routine medical appointment just weeks before her passing, they discovered untreated hypertension, elevated cholesterol levels, and indicators of early heart disease. Intervention came too late to reverse the damage. Early detection can literally save lives. But here's what typically happens. As we age, many feel they understand their bodies better than anyone else. I've inhabited this body for many decades. I know when something's wrong. While partially true, you cannot perceive what occurs beneath the surface. Conditions like heart disease, diabetes, and certain cancers can develop silently without obvious symptoms until reaching crisis points. The harsh reality? By the time you notice symptoms like fatigue, dizziness, or unexplained weight loss, chronic conditions may have already damaged your heart, brain, or other organs. Most tragically, such damage often proves irreversible. Here's where you control outcomes: regular health examinations. I recognize that medical appointments, blood tests, and diagnostic procedures sound unappealing. But these visits aren't solely for illness. They're preventative measures helping physicians identify problems early, before becoming serious complications. Consider hypertension, often called the silent killer, because most patients experience no symptoms whatsoever. Yet over time, it silently damages arteries, heart tissue, and kidneys. Without regular monitoring, you might remain unaware of risks until experiencing cardiac events or strokes. Diabetes represents another common condition among seniors that can devastate your body unnoticed. Without regular blood glucose testing, you might miss early diabetes indicators until it begins affecting vision, kidney function, and nerve health. Similarly, certain cancers like breast or colorectal types rarely display obvious signs until advanced stages. This underscores why routine screenings like mammography and colonoscopy remain crucial. They detect problems early when treatments remain highly effective. How can you protect yourself? First, make routine examinations non-negotiable components of your health regimen. Visit your physician at least annually, even feeling perfectly healthy. Second, monitor health at home. Check blood pressure regularly. Track weight fluctuations. Observe energy levels. If anything seems unusual, even slightly, communicate this information. Your doctor needs every detail, regardless how insignificant it seems. Third, maintain current recommended screenings based on your age and risk factors. Ensure you receive appropriate tests, including necessary imaging studies and laboratory analyses. Fourth, ask questions whenever your physician mentions unfamiliar terminology or concepts. Request clarification and participate actively in healthcare decisions. Your perspective matters tremendously. Ultimately, health maintenance extends beyond medication adherence or nutritious eating. It involves proactivity and taking extra steps to prevent potential problems. Eleanor Wilson never realized her elevated blood pressure and cholesterol were silently undermining her health until intervention came too late. Don't let that become your narrative. You deserve experiencing your later years in optimal health, and regular medical appointments remain essential for ensuring this outcome. Sixth mistake: neglecting mental health. How are you truly feeling, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally? I recognize how easily we dismiss such questions while managing daily responsibilities, but aging introduces changes, some challenging to navigate. As we age, we experience losses, perhaps spouses, friends, or even personal independence. Roles, previously central to identity, parent, caregiver, professional, begin shifting, sometimes leaving uncertainty about our purpose. But here's the crucial point. Feelings of persistent sadness or anxiety aren't normal aging components, and ignoring these emotions hoping they'll resolve spontaneously represents one of the gravest mistakes possible. Eleanor Wilson's health didn't fail solely in physical dimensions. Her psychological well-being deteriorated first. During her final year, she began withdrawing, reducing social activities, limiting communication with friends, and becoming increasingly reserved around family. She would tell her son, "I'm just getting older, nothing more." But truthfully, Eleanor struggled with depression, feeling isolated, overwhelmed by life changes, and uncertain about her purpose. Most regrettably, she never requested assistance. Depression, anxiety, and loneliness aren't merely uncomfortable emotions. They can physically harm us, weakening immunity, increasing chronic disease risks, and affecting cardiovascular health. Social isolation specifically correlates with higher stroke incidence and premature mortality. However, encouraging news exists. You needn't face these challenges alone. Mental health deserves equivalent priority to physical wellness, and simple measures can protect emotional well-being immediately. First, maintain mental activity. Continuing learning and curiosity remains vital. Read books, solve puzzles, develop new skills, or pursue interests you've always considered, whether musical instruments, gardening, or artistic pursuits. Keep your mind engaged. Scientific evidence confirms mental exercise, like physical exercise, maintains cognitive sharpness and potentially delays cognitive decline onset. Second, maintain physical activity. Exercise benefits extend beyond muscles. It significantly impacts mental health. Even gentle walks outdoors, brief yoga sessions, or home stretching routines release endorphins, natural mood enhancers. Physical activity improves mood, reduces anxiety, and combats depression. Greater activity corresponds with improved emotional and physical well-being. Third, practice mindfulness techniques. Mindfulness involves complete present moment awareness, focusing on breathing, releasing worries, and practicing self-compassion. Whether through meditation, deep breathing exercises, or simply taking quiet moments daily to clear your mind, mindfulness reduces stress and improves emotional health. Lastly, request help when needed. This demonstrates strength, not weakness. Discussing feelings with therapists, counselors, or trusted friends can profoundly impact well-being. You needn't suppress emotions. Whether through neighborhood conversations or professional consultations, seeking support remains appropriate. Isolation nurtures depression, but connection provides the antidote. Remember, joy and purpose matter throughout every life stage. You deserve happiness, meaningful engagement, and life satisfaction regardless of age. Don't repeat Eleanor's mistake. Don't disregard emotional health. Take action today, because mental well-being equals physical health in importance. If you're ready to prioritize psychological wellness, comment, "I'm caring for my mind," below. Remember, each day offers fresh opportunities to find joy and optimize your life. 3 common regrets after 70 and how to avoid them. As we advance in years, we naturally reflect on our lives, experiences, achievements, and lessons learned. These reflections inevitably include regrets, and many seniors share 3 common ones. Not cherishing relationships. Among the most frequent regrets seniors express beyond 70 involves insufficient time spent with important people, family, friends, and loved ones. Life's demands easily consume us. Between careers, child rearing, and household management, relationships often receive lower priority. We assume future opportunities will arise: visits with grandchildren, dinners with friends, or meaningful conversations with partners, but time passes swiftly, proving insufficient. The truth remains that relationships constitute life's genuine treasures. Moments shared with loved ones shape enduring memories. Make efforts today nurturing these connections. Contact long-distance friends, increase family visits, and cherish every interaction, not pursuing passions. How many dreams or interests have we postponed indefinitely? We easily proclaim someday, whether regarding musical instruments, dream destinations, or writing projects. But someday never materializes. Years pass while dreams remain unfulfilled. Yet it's never too late. You remain present with remaining time for pursuing passions. Whether painting, language learning, or entrepreneurship, no expiration date exists for dream pursuit. Don't wait until reflecting back with regret. Begin today. Invest in yourself, happiness, and passions. You deserve experiencing joy and purpose. Not protecting health. Another significant regret involves not recognizing health's preciousness until deterioration occurs. Younger individuals often feel invincible, ignoring discomfort, dismissing fatigue signs, and eating convenient rather than nutritious foods, believing future opportunities for change will exist. But aging reveals accumulated neglect consequences. Seniors commonly regret insufficient earlier health attention. Damage affecting heart, joints, and cognition doesn't happen suddenly. It results from years of ignored small indicators. Encouragingly, it's never too late improving self-care. Regular exercise, nutrient-dense foods, adequate sleep, and routine medical examinations represent simple methods protecting current and future health. You control your health narrative. Your next chapter begins today. Remember, past mistakes and regrets don't define you. Your next actions matter most. Every small change today, contacting loved ones, morning stretching, scheduling medical appointments, represents investment in your future. Later years shouldn't involve settling or slowing down, but rather represent your finest period. Time for joyful living, passion pursuit, and relationship enjoyment, bringing peace and happiness. Today begins afresh. Don't postpone action, live wisely, joyfully, and completely. This represents your time. What single change will you implement today? Which common regrets resonated most profoundly? What small adjustment ensures later years remain filled with love, purpose, and health? Share your thoughts and intentions below. Your contributions might inspire others taking control of their lives. This journey doesn't require solitary navigation. We can mutually support and inspire one another. Like, share, subscribe to Senior Wisdom because your life, health, and happiness matter tremendously. Let me know through comments what step you'll take today toward optimal living. Your story might provide exactly what someone else needs hearing.